Hey everybody, so happy to see you. I have my magic wand with me today, and I'm wondering if you like magic tricks. You know, another name for a magic trick is also an illusion. Magic trick, illusion, kind of the same thing. And whether you call it a magic trick or an illusion, what that is your senses. So that would be seeing things, smelling things, tasting things, hearing things, touching things, right? Your senses are telling you one thing is happening, but something else is actually happening. And we have some cool examples to show you. And the first one I'm going to show you is about eyesight. But you see one thing, but something else is actually happening. So let me pull this up here. All right. So when you look at this, you might see that it looks like it's moving, but it's not actually moving. It's actually just still lines on a paper, but it totally looks like it's moving. Same with this one. Some people, when they look at this one, it looks like these circles are actually moving. All right, so for this one, some people see a tree, right? Here's the leaves and the trunk. Some people see faces. Here's one face on this side, and here's the silhouette of another face on the other side. So this one, some people see zebras, right? There's several zebras there, and this one right in the middle, there's the zebra's face and its ears. But if you look back, step back and look at it again, you can see that these might be a lion's eyes, and this is the lion's nose, and there's actually a lion hiding in with those zebras. And then this is actually one of my favorites, because it looks like all those lines are sloping different ways. Like this one's sloping down and this one slopes this way. All of those lines are actually perfectly straight across, but your eyes are tricked by how they drew in all those boxes. And one of the most famous ones of all is this one. So the question becomes, how many feet does this elephant have? How many feet does this elephant have? So go ahead and count. I count 5 feet. But can an elephant have 5 feet? No, elephants have 4 feet. And then when I look at the elephant, it looks like 4 feet, but when I count at the bottom, there's 5 feet. So those are just some of the ways that your eyes can be tricked by something that you might be seeing. It's called an optical illusion. And we have something to do with sound. So we talked about all your different senses, and that your eyes can be tricked, your ears can also be tricked. There are actually sounds that kids can hear that adults can't. So I'm going to play some of those sounds for you. We'll see if you hear them, and we'll see if Barry and I can hear them. And you could even play these sounds for, you know, your parents or your grandparents or your brothers or your sisters and see if they can hear these sounds. So let me go ahead and start that sound. All right, here we go. All right, Barry, could you hear any of those sounds?
No.
I didn't hear them either. But you know what? We have done this one in person with groups of kids, and when we have tried it, they heard it, and none of the teachers could hear it. So I think that is very real. That is very real. Okay, so I also have some things. If we start talking about touch, I have some silverware here and I have a napkin. So how might my brain be getting fooled by these things and the idea of touch, Barry?
Well, I would say that probably, since they've both been sitting there on your desk for a long time, they probably are at the same temperature. But when you put the forks in your hand, they feel cooler than the napkin does because of the tactile properties of the napkin and the fork. The forks feel cooler. Is that true?
That's true.
Yeah.
They're the same temperature, but they definitely feel different. All right, so the last sense that we're going to talk about where maybe your senses are fooling your brain a little bit is taste. There are some things called M-berries, and M-berries make things super sweet, super sweet. So here's a couple of examples. You could take, if you had an M-berry in your mouth, you could take a big bite of a tomato and it would taste like a strawberry. Or you could take a spoonful of sour cream and it would taste like ice cream. Or another one might be a lemon. You could actually squeeze a lemon, just a cut up lemon in your mouth, and it would taste like lemonade. So I've actually tried M-berries and they work just like that. It really, it's weird because your brain is saying, there's no way this tomato should taste this sweet. It's kind of strange. So that's the thing about illusions, is that you will have to decide what is real and what is not real. Even if your brain is telling you something, or maybe your heart is telling you something else. I don't know. Barry, how might this relate to spirit?
Well, spirit is something that we can't see, so we often think of spirit or God. I like to think of God as a mystery, a mystery of love. I know that God loves me. I know that God loves all people, all kids, uh, but I don't really have proof of that. It's just something that I know, and I think that's one of the things about God, is that God is like an invisible force in the world, an invisible force for good and an invisible force for love, and can't be proved by science. We can't prove God by science. It's something deeper. It's not only faith, it's a knowing that we have inside of us. So I think that's what that is. And is God an illusion? I don't think so.
I agree with that. So you're talking about how sometimes we're looking around at our life and there may be things that we have to know are real, even though our senses might not be telling us that that's true, which might be God or spirit. It might also be what's going on in my life. Like maybe somebody's really unhappy, maybe stuff is really going wrong. How will I decide in that moment what's real and what's not?
But it's a word that we use, intuition. Um, there's a deeper part of us that knows, and I think part of it is slowing down our reactions of getting angry with somebody, or um, making up stories in our minds about what went on. And we have a tendency to make up stories, uh, and take things personally, and to project a lot onto the other person. And I think it could be an illusion. We could be looking at the wrong thing. We could be looking in the wrong direction. And I think one of the things that we need to do is to give each other the benefit of the doubt, and to see the best in each other rather than the worst. And I think that we have we have illusions sometimes that we grab onto that just aren't true. And so taking time to use our brains and examine things is an important part in our heart.
I think that's true. And sometimes, if the illusion is that everything is going wrong, there might be things going right. And you need to be able to look past what your brain is telling you that everything is wrong and know that something is going right. So
Very nice.
fits perfectly with this idea of the illusions. And as Barry said, that you're at choice. Is God real or is God an illusion? And I think God is definitely real. And that is actually our affirmation for today. our affirmation is, I know that God is real. I know that God is real.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. That's all we have for you today. So great to spend time with you.
God
Bye.
is real.